Hello everyone. My name is Antara Malhotra. I'm representing Verizon as a champion on this Catalyst initiative. I'm an associate director for software development with Verizon, and it is with great pride and excitement that I present the fifth phase of this Hyperloops program, an autonomous network open innovation catalyst. This program won the Outstanding Catalyst Beyond Telco Award, as David mentioned, at the TM Forum Digital Transformation World event that was held in Copenhagen in June of this year. The Catalyst program here successfully demonstrated has been demonstrating a variety of smart industry use cases since its inception in 2020. And the program has leveraged the TM Forum Autonomous Network Framework. However, this year, I would say the progress is even more evident as we expanded the solution by integrating cutting edge technologies such as, we brought in advanced data analytics, AI, ML, and integrated that with the TM Forum Autonomous Network Framework. And I must say that these integrations as a team allowed us to push the boundaries of what is possible for providing more smarter and more efficient network solutions. Now, as we expanded the solution and introduced advanced integration, it was crucial for us to have the right expertise on board. Therefore, this year, we expanded our team and we introduced more key players, both as champions as well as participants. And each of these champions and participants brought in with them wealth of knowledge and experience to really drive the initiative forward. And I would like to take this opportunity to introduce each one of them and go from there. So our champions here include all the global telecom leaders who have significantly contributed overall towards advancing the network automation and innovation. From Americas, we have Antel and Verizon. We got from Asia, we have Chunghwa and NTT covering, and then MTN from Africa, Orange and TIM from Europe. So as you can see, the length and breadth of the global leaders here. These champions brought invaluable insights and experience in the network infrastructure, optimization of the network, and the overall next generation technologies. The champions here ensured that the clarity of the business vision, the challenges, and the use cases for the Catalyst team was there. The champions also vetted out the solutions and implementation intricacies here so that the proposed solution that was being discussed as part of this catalyst and what was demonstrated, the catalyst team here, ensured that the solution is scalable and robust. So while we had these champions, our participants, which are our essential partners here, they also provided critical support in various areas, including digital transformation, geospatial and advanced data analytics, and the overall network orchestration. And so I'll quickly go over. So for digital transformation, we had our partners like Self-Focus, Cognizant, Infosim, and FutureWay. They came in and they played a prominent role in providing the overall transformation and IT services. For geospatial and advanced data analytics, both S3 and Entersec came in new this year and hugely supported the implementation with their enriched geospatial data and provided the analytics to support the use case that we'll talk more about in this session. Finally, for the network orchestration and integration, our long-standing Catalyst partner, Ubiquube, played a prominent role for the overall orchestration and successfully integrating the different interdependencies that this use case brought in with the different variety of technologies like AI, ML coming together. So that's where the Ubiquube played a big role there. Now, talking about the use case, the focus of this team was to really demonstrate network resiliency. And this team collectively played a prominent role in demonstrating how the network resiliency can be further strengthened And that is where the virtual command center for disaster management as a use case was introduced. And with that, I will hand it over to Charlotte, who will dive deeper on the explanation of the virtual command center and the challenges that this use case has helped addressed with the solution that is being proposed here. So with that, I'll hand it over to Charlotte.
Thank you, Andra. David, oh, thank you. So hi, I'm Charlotte Cardona. I'm a VP of Communication at Intersec. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And as you mentioned earlier, Andra, what I'm going to do right now is to present to you the why, what's the challenge behind and why we wanted to work all together. So basically, why did we take the initiative of that Catalyst team, and why bring telecom operators and technology providers to focus on resilient infrastructure for emergency management? For that, let me share a couple of statistics with you. Globally, 1 in 2 people are at high risk of experiencing an extreme weather event. And meanwhile, pretty much everyone now has a mobile phone in their pockets. So that together, that makes mobile networks an incredibly powerful channel to alert population about imminent hazards. But at the same time, what happens when natural disasters cause major disruptions to telecom infrastructure? So that's really the foundation of the teamwork to enhance together resilience through technology and facing, this, again, sense of urgency regarding climate change. Next slide, please. So with all this in mind, the several global organizations have sounded the alarm, and the telecom industry is stepping up to drive change as well. In March 2022, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres announced the Early Warning for All initiative. And the goal of that initiative is to ensure that every person on Earth is protected by an early warning system by 2027. So what's an early warning system? Basically, when a disaster strikes, we want to ensure through an early warning system that we can help save lives by giving people just a little extra time to act or to evacuate, and of course, saving people. This initiative is a worldwide priority. Now it's even listed, as you can see on the slide, and it's just an abstract. Like there are several, I think, 9 sustainable United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that emphasize the need for early warning system and resilient infrastructure. In 2023, last year, there is a report that showed that countries with limited warning system face disaster mortality rates 6 times higher than those with comprehensive coverage. But meanwhile, despite all this, there's another report, a very recent report, I think it was published last month, that revealed that 77% of the people who were experiencing a disaster last year received no warning at all. So that shows that there are significant opportunities to increase resilience through digital technologies and, of course, like better warning systems. And the virtual command center is designed to serve this very purpose. So I'll let my next teammate, go into more detail on about the solution itself. So I'm turning over to Andre now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. My name is Andre Vieira. I'm here representing Self-Focus. In Self-Focus, I'm currently managing the offer and pre-sales of a business unit that is called Operations Intelligence. It's a pleasure to be here today. So, as Charlotte was saying, it's as a society we have a drive to mitigate the risks and to save lives, and we want to do this with technology. And the baseline of all of these is the infrastructure, how we can have a secure and resilient infrastructure. We know that the operators nowadays, they do a brilliant job doing the operations of a network. But here, it's a different one. It's working on the hard mode. How can we do an operation with an event that we are not expecting? So how we can do this agility, this resiliency, and not only to be the situational awareness, so understanding that there is an issue, an earthquake, a fire, but also to manage this crisis. How we can, as Charlotte was saying, to alert people, but also this infrastructure to help the people that are helping others. So the firefighters, the police, the medical staff. And with this challenge, we see that creating a virtual command center as a service with the AI for the risk prediction, with the digital twin, with the location intelligence, we understand that we can reduce by 30% the damage caused by a disaster. So this is a huge challenge that we are seeing, as we say, a potential to mitigate these risks and save lives. And you might ask, what is the solution for this challenge? We understand, and next slide, please. The solution is to use these advanced technologies to the virtual command center in order to do the monitoring. So how we can understand how is the network, but also to do the assessment. When it's going to be a natural disaster, the network, of course, is going to have some issues, and how we can do this assessment of coordinates and to understand what needs to be done to continue to give connectivity for the people that are helping, but also to alert the populations of a natural disaster. But also to use data, and this is really important, to use data to make decisions. And this is the part that we begin to automate. And we know that in a natural disaster, every minute counts. So this needs to be the most automated possible, to be quicker, but also to have solid decisions based on data. This mutualized virtual command center will not only streamline the disaster management, but reduce the response time and improve the coordination. In a disaster, and again, in a quick response, we need to be solid and to have this single source of truth and to use data to give us the lead. And of course, with this, we want to be more effective and to prevent disaster recovery. In terms of solution, what is the target? The target, as Charlotte was also explaining a bit, is for the public safety, handling natural disasters, earthquake, flooding, but also terrorist attacks. And the technical requirements, it's not something that is new. So the technical requirements and the challenge of these, it's not only to understand what is the AI, and we did a great job in terms of group to each one of us to be specialized in an area. The challenge is to consolidate in an architecture to have this virtual command center, how we can consolidate all this knowledge and all these technologies and advanced technologies to create this architecture that is going to create what we call the autonomous network, the digital twins, and always supported by AI. This not only is going to give the resiliency to the network, but also the location intelligence and situational awareness. So something that is not natural to correlate data from the environment and data from the network, we are going to begin to do. So also data that is not normally correlated, it's begin to be correlated in this part. Again, in a whole picture of architecture. And being very pragmatic, the use cases for this are clear that we want to achieve. Is the operational efficiency for a disaster handling, not only that my network works perfectly well, but my network can respond to an attack or a malfunction or something that an event that I'm not supposing. But also the other use case is that how can I proactively or faster can alert the public and manage also the people that are suffering these natural attacks. And now I'll pass to my colleague Hermine to proceed with the presentation.
Thank you, Andre. Next slide, please. Good day, my name is Hermine Baker. I'm a Senior Solution Engineer at Esri. Esri is a global market leader in location intelligence and makes a powerful GIS software. The Virtual Command Center for Disaster Recovery focuses on assisting public authorities in managing emergencies and saving lives with minimal human intervention by ensuring uninterrupted connectivities even in areas with infrastructure damage. To achieve this, 14 leading telecom and IT companies combined their expertise to create a minimum viable product. Next slide, please. You could be wondering, what is a virtual command center? It is a digital platform designed to coordinate and manage disaster response activities. It allows various stakeholders, such as government agencies, telecom service providers, emergency responders, NGOs, and other relevant entities to communicate, collaborate, and access real-time information efficiently during a disaster. Key features of this virtual command center is firstly information sharing. In this slide, we are looking at a dashboard or cockpit view of the virtual command center. Information is shared between GIS, or the spatial fire detection and predictive modeling of a wildfire spreading, in context of existing telecom infrastructure. There are linked product and services catalogs that details the communication equipment affected by the fire, and there is an inventory with performance information that can drill down on certain components for service assurance. There are tools for alerting and altering the status of 5G cells. There is a network remediation and closed-loop assurance, and the rerouting of network traffic to ensure an autonomous response and ongoing connectivity during a disaster. Another key feature is real-time communication through a chatbot system, like the one in the top right corner, that facilitates instant messaging among the teams and stakeholders. The orchestrated running of this virtual command center requires the integration between systems. The sharing of data between the spatial GIS and other telecom management systems ensures the interoperability and alignment of an automated response to the disaster. Another key feature is the coordination and collaboration through resource management that monitors the allocation and status of resources like the network equipment, people, or supplies, and situational awareness that provides a common operational picture with updates on the disaster's progression and response efforts. Benefits of a virtual command center includes the improved situational awareness by providing a holistic view of the disaster progression, enabling better planning and allocation of resources. It also improves efficiency by speeding up the decision-making through automation. This drives down the response times. It enhances coordination amongst diverse stakeholders, reducing duplication of efforts and ensuring a comprehensive response strategy by providing centralized access to critical information. Because the command center is virtual, it adds flexibility. It can be accessed from anywhere, allowing remote teams to participate in the response efforts. In summary, a virtual command center like the one displayed here is an environment designed to assist organizations in managing emergencies by ensuring uninterrupted connectivity, even in areas with damaged infrastructure. And it requires minimal human intervention. I'm now handing over to Herve.
Thanks a lot, Hermine. Can we go to the next slide, please? So my name is Hervé Guénaud. I'm the CTO for Ubicube, which is providing infrastructure automation across multi-domain and multi-vendor network. So let me take this opportunity to drive you through all the different components of the virtual command center. As you heard, the frequency of natural and human-made disaster is higher and higher. So is the severity. So we know that it's already very complex to manage and optimize networks in normal conditions. Imagine how complex it is to maximize the resources when a disaster is happening. You need to know the remaining assets. You need to know also where the users are in order to be able to maximize the resources, but most importantly, to alert the users and to save lives. In order to do so and to make this virtual command center a reality, we have built a group of 14 leading telecom companies, providing different skills and expertise in order to build this virtual command center for disaster recovery. Of course, as Antoine mentioned, we need service providers that will offer their network assets and computing resources. And we are very glad to have service providers from all across the globe. In Asia, with Chunghwa Telecom, with NTT. In Americas, with Verizon, Intel. In Africa, with MTN. In Europe, with Orange, TIM, and Cognizant. More than that, we are not only building a solution that will help in doing the disaster recovery, we are also following the standards, and in particular the ODA framework from the TM Forum. But we have also the support for emerging projects like Camara or Silva, thanks to the contribution of FutureWay on the standardization side. Now with the virtual command center, you can, of course, operate networks in an intelligent way. Thanks to, for example, the intent interpreter provided by NTT, this chatbot. You can then decompose the intent and do the orchestration with the YubiCube platform for automation. We have, obviously, inventory and performance functionalities provided by InfoSim. So you know exactly the status of your assets of the network. You have also a digital twin view of the network, thanks to Orange. You know exactly where your equipments are, thanks to the GIS information provided by Esri. And of course, all those data regarding the status, the location, are correlated by a self-focus in order to do predictive analysis. Predictive analysis, predictive maintenance, of course, but also predictive analysis when... Now, can you go back to the previous slide, please? Yeah, sorry. But also when something bad is happening. And then if you correlate that with location intelligence provided by Intersec, then you can alert people. And in particular, you can send, for example, SMS asking them to evacuate because the fire is north, so they need to evacuate south. So then we can manage the resources and save lives. Can you go to the next slide? So yeah, what does it mean in terms of solution stack? So by leveraging all those building blocks provided by the different champions and participants in this catalyst, we have something that is ODA compliant. Of course, you see on the left-hand side here, the party and core commerce management, production domain of the ODA framework. So is the knowledge and intelligence part on the right-hand side. Let me go very quickly through all those different building blocks. In normal operation, you want to manage your network, but you want to do that simplifying also the user experience. And for that, you need to do intent management. Intent management is provided from the user layer with this chatbot, Tsuzumi, provided by NTT. The user intent is then decomposed into business intents that are handled by the Infonova platform, provided by NTT and powered by Beyond Now. The business intent is decomposed into service intent, handled by the YubiCube MS Activator platform. And at the end of the day, the services intent are decomposed into resource orders. And in this MVP, we demonstrated not only the ability to manage fixed networks, but also, of course, mobile networks, 5G RAN, 5G core, optical networks, IP networks, and this cloud-to-edge continuum. Now, you need, of course, to do the orchestration, but having visibility is even more important. And that's the reason why we have different solutions. First of all, to monitor the network and to provide assurance. This is what the StableNet platform from InfoSim is doing, handling all the network data. If you combine that with the GIS information provided by S3 and the fire data, and if you can correlate that with the digital twin information provided by Orange, thanks to self-focus, you can do predictive analysis. And again, this is where, yes, we can detect the fire. Yes, we can detect where the fire is going to. So we can do predictive maintenance or remediation on the network assets to be sure that, for example, you will reroute the traffic, you will guarantee the continuity of the communication, but more importantly, thanks to geolocalization and alerting, with the metadata coming from the 5G network, we can localize the users and we can alert them. We can ask them to evacuate. So you see, it's a solution composed of best-of-breed building blocks provided by the different partners so that now you can easily consume this virtual command center and you can consume it as a service. Thanks, and I will hand over now to David from InfoSim. David.
Thank you, Hervé. So my name's David Hock. I'm heading the research activities here at InfoSim in Würzburg in Germany. And with this, I'm also involved in the Catalyst activities of InfoSim, and it's a pleasure for me to also talk at this webinar. What I want to show you now is, a point that I want to quickly make is that in these projects, it's not just about the project, but it's also about the people that work together. And I think besides the hard work we've been doing together, we also had quite a lot of fun together. We had great meetings and a great collaboration. We are also looking forward to continuing this in future projects and in continuing this work. And in order to reflect this, we had the idea that actually following recent trends, we created we let AI actually create a song, lyrics, and a song for this, and pictures for the song to, in a humorous way, sort of like show the challenges we are addressing and the solution we are providing with the virtual command center. I think the outcome is quite fun. It's after all AI generated. This is the logo actually that you can see from the AI. And what we will do now is actually we will replay that song. It's about 4 minutes long. The first half are actually AI generated pictures and the lyrics reflecting our topic. And the second half are short clips from the different solutions in action. And I will then, on the second half, briefly comment the different solutions. And in this case, I think the audio will pause, but it will then start again. And the only picture here that is not AI generated is the firefighter picture from the TM forum. The rest is AI generated. And I would say, start the song, please.
Command center shining bright, guiding us through the darkest night. With AI, a network to redefine, real-time views, mirror ahead of time, digital twin showing what's unseen, hyperloops driving the machine. Catalyst with the force, with the fire, autonomous networks lifting us higher. In disaster script we stand tall, hyperloops answering the call. In disaster script we stand tall, hyperloops answering the call.
Yeah, so now we will see the different solutions coming up. This is the overview of our virtual command center cockpit with the different solutions in play. Now we see the intent interpreter with the chatbot and the large language models behind it. Here we see the solution for the service catalog and the resources catalog to interact with the different systems. And here we see parts of the 5G core network that has been used. Here we get a blink on the inventory, and now diving into some drill down to look at the service assurance. Here we have the visualization on different map views and the chance to get a better understanding of the geographical overall situation. And here also more detailed views of the different base stations and meter information. Now we have information about the different cell broadcasts, the users in the network, and possibilities to interact here. And here we have the analytics part, analyzing the further spreading of the fire and what impact this will have on the different components and base stations. Here we have the digital twin part, looking into the topology and using this for optimization of routing and reacting on the system to do the closed loop assurance. And here now working again with intents, reacting on this and actually resuming the work and finally getting into the slices, rerouting, network slicing, and with this actually the closed loop is finishing, and just let the last few seconds of the video run to an end. Yes, and with this, I'm handing over to my dear colleague Taka from NTT. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I'm Taka Nakama from NTT Group in Japan. So this collaboration project defines virtual command center as a service, which rationalizes disaster handling efforts and enables the mitigation of the impact from disasters. We demonstrated the value of autonomous network in emerging situations at command center to mission-critical verticals and organizations for public communications. Advanced network with multiple AI capabilities and digital twins enables preventive and predictive reallocation of network and computing resources based on geographical, physical, and logical data, as well as extracted and decomposed user intent. Next slide, please. Thank you. As societal impact, virtual command center as a service can coordinate rescue and relief efforts and provide a lifeline to those affected in case natural disasters might cause disruption to telecom infrastructure. As you can see, we expect it will reduce the damage from a disaster by 30% and the loss of $3 to $16 billion per year through early warning. And next slide, please. This, as a conclusion, our focus is to make Catalyst matured enough to scope MVP so that we can promote disaster resilient technologies and support UN SDGs. So if you have time, so please visit the link you can see here. Then now I hand over to another David.